It's time for another WrestlePlanet news update, as an ECW legend has passed away. And is there heat between the AEW EVPs? All that and more coming up in today's video, but first, let's take a look at this week's ratings for WWE RAW, Smackdown, as well as AEW Dynamite. This week's RAW was of course the go-home show for WrestleMania Backlash, but that did not stop the show pulling in less viewers than last week, drawing a 1.817 million viewers, down from 1.872 million of last week. In the key demo, they saw a rating of 0.53, which is the exact same as last week. AEW Dynamite saw a significant drop of 14.1% from last week's Blood and Guts special, drawing in a total of 936,000 viewers, meaning they are back below the 1 million mark. And in the key demo, they drew a 0.19, which is the exact same as last week. And they also drew the lowest in the demo since NXT's move to Tuesday nights. In terms of the WWE's Blue brand, we can't actually bring you the ratings this week, as there seems to be an issue with the Showbuzz website, who are the ones that publish the ratings for the week. So we're going to have to hold off on that one for now. But let me know what you think about the ratings of this week for AEW and WWE RAW. And do you think AEW can get back on track and start pulling in more than 1 million viewers? Let me know in the comments down below. It was recently reported that former AEW wrestler Bea Priestley was on her way to WWE to join the NXT UK brand. In April, she publicly said farewell to the Stardom promotion in Japan, where she worked since 2017. She turned down a contract from Stardom as well as New Japan, where she was working alongside boyfriend Will Ospreay, and now according to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Priestley is in fact heading to NXT UK, and she is expected to sign very soon. Ring of Honor have announced the next survival of the Fittest tournament, which will start in June. It will begin with qualifying matches, with the winners of those advancing into the multi-man elimination tournament to determine the winner. The winner of the tournament overall will earn a future shot at the Ring of Honor World Championship, which is currently held by Roosh. The first ever survival of the Fittest was in 2004 and was won by Bryan Danielson, who of course went on to be better known as Daniel Bryan. It would be pretty cool to see Bryan Danielson back in the tournament for this year, although it is very unlikely, but he is a free agent right now. The tournament was last held in 2018, with Marty Scurll coming out on top, defeating Christopher Daniels in the final. Past winners also include Tyler Black, who is now known as Seth Rollins, Jay Lethal, as well as Adam Cole. Dave Meltzer has seemed to put an end to rumours of an upcoming Friday Night War, with a new TNT show airing in opposition to WWE Smackdown. This is something we discussed in a recent video, but it seems to be a misunderstanding. The Friday TNT show that has been announced will be a one-off show ahead of the AEW Full Gear pay-per-view the next night on the Saturday. It seems this will happen ahead of all pay-per-views from now on. And before we continue, why not go and grab the free Young Bucks audiobook using our Audible affiliate link in the description below. And while you're down there, why not subscribe with notifications turned on so you don't miss any upcoming videos. But let's get back to the news. In addition to this, there is said to be a live event on the Wednesday before this, which could suggest it's AEW Dynamite being moved to the Friday time slot temporarily. As I said, this will only occur on pay-per-view weeks, so Friday 5th of November in this case, ahead of the Full Gear pay-per-view the next night on Saturday the 6th of November. Last year's Full Gear was a solid show and was main evented by Eddie Kingston versus Jon Moxley, which had arguably the best build of Jon Moxley's AEW World Title reign. And next up, we have some sad news, as ECW Legend New Jack has passed away at the age of 58 following a heart attack. His wife gave the news to PW Insider, with his official Facebook page also confirming it. New Jack is one of the wrestling business's most controversial figures, having been involved in a number of incidents where his in-ring matches turned real. Despite this, he will also be remembered for his promo ability and the heat he could draw from a crowd, especially during his time with Smoky Mountain Wrestling in the early 90s. He will also go down as one of the most important wrestlers in ECW, where he was one of the most popular stars on the card. I will be making a more detailed video covering his life and career in the next couple of days. I'm just going through the editing process, it's all written and recorded, so make sure you keep an eye out for that. But for now, I'd like to send my condolences to his family and friends following this sad news. And finally, according to Wade Keller of PW Torch, there has been tensions between the EVPs of AEW after disagreements backstage as to the running of the company. Of course, the EVPs are Cody Rhodes, the Young Bucks, and Kenny Omega, and it seems that there is a split between the four, with Cody seemingly becoming distant from the other three. There has been speculation of this in the past and has been alluded to by Brian Last, who is the co-host on Jim Cornette's podcasts, and he has claimed that there are emails that he has knowledge of that back it up. Also, Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful has confirmed that he has heard similar rumours. But in regards to Wade Keller, here is what he had to say about the situation. There's going to be a book written someday by some of these EVPs or someone else closely observing, and we're going to learn about a lot of dysfunction. We're going to learn what a very short honeymoon period there was between certain key people in the company who aren't even talking to each other anymore. I think we're going to find that out. I know there are people in other wrestling companies saying the Bucks and Cody and Kenny, it's not going to be long at all before they want to have nothing to do with each other. The honeymoon period is going to be short. It seems like it is. It seems like there's some disengagement and people going off into their own that is showing up in certain ways. Wade's podcast co-host Jason Powell also confirmed that there's a certain big name talent that is hesitant to join AEW due to this infighting, and he said, "If that is not happening, they need to clear up that misconception. I do think it's happening. There's a would-be difference maker who could go there that has that opinion that there's all this infighting, and this person for that reason is hesitant to go there." If this is true, it will be interesting to see if it results in some of the EVPs stepping down from their roles, or maybe even leaving the company entirely. Tony Khan is said to have taken up a much more decisive role in the company, so perhaps this is a hint that there has been some tension in the ranks. It also makes me wonder who the big name is that is hesitant to join AEW, and it will be interesting to see if harmony can be restored, or if there will need to be some changes to the management structure. But of course, we will keep you updated should there be any more breakthroughs on this story, and let me know what you think in the comments down below. As they say, too many cooks spoil the broth. And before you go, why not check out 10 AEW stars who competed at Wrestle Kingdom? And all of the AEW EVPs are in that list.